Bully is a game full of unique and interesting characters. In fact, the game actually has over 200 different characters, so you're of course bound to have some that simply won't make the final cut. So, here are 6 characters that ended up being cut from Bully. ORourke, voice acted by Tom Zurhelen, who provided pedestrian voice acting in GTA San Andreas, The Warriors, Bully, GTA 4, and Red Dead Redemption respectively, was a character initially intended to act as a fireman in Bully. Whenever Jimmy pulled the fire alarm in the boy storm, ORourke would appear, scan the dorm for any fire hazards, look around, and then proceed to smoke a cigarette.
I've been smoking since I was 12!
Cigarette fire.
The game was also set to make sure that ORourke would act like a wandering ambient ped. A wandering ambient ped is a pedestrian set to both act ambient and wander. The ambient part makes the game consider the ped in question a non-mission related ped, which will despawn if located too far away from the player. The wander part is what makes the game force the ped in question to roam around aimlessly, just like any other townsperson. Now, unlike other characters on this list, this character can actually be made to spawn in-game without modding if you run out of time and fail during the mission the gym is burning. ORourke will then appear and stand next to 2 police officers by the gym entrance, right before the mission ends, presumably before putting out the fire. Tyler Wilson, one of the people behind the character designs in Bully, would eventually reveal on his website that ORourke's initial name was Jake. Jake had a slightly different appearance from ORourke. For one, the fireman helmet had a slightly different logo. He also had a different, dirtier t-shirt. The shoes were slightly different, his clothing texture was more worn out and dirtier. And he also had a cigarette hanging from his mouth.
A cigarette fire.
Despite nearly making it to the final version of the game, ORourke's character model is very glitchy and unpolished, oftentimes resulting in the character's animations bugging out whenever he attempts to ride a bike or bust someone. Nate, voiced by Sean Morgan. And by the way, that's S-E-A-N Morgan. Sean Morgan. Not to be confused with Sean Morgan, the lead singer of Seether. Nate, voiced by Sean Morgan, was initially meant to play the role as the shopkeeper for the Rocket in My Pocket fireworks stores located in Bulworth Town and in New Coventry. This feature was eventually recreated by the Bully modder DeadPoolXYZ. I'll make sure to feature a link to his video and mod in the description down below in case you want to check it out yourselves. Shit's really fucking cool, like I guarantee you. DeadPoolXYZ is a really cool channel. I definitely recommend checking it out in case you're interested in beta content, or just Bully content in general. It's just a cool channel. Shit's pretty fucking tight, yo! Now, it's possible that this feature was removed from the game due to the redundant nature of purchasing explosives when you can easily obtain them via lockpicking or simply just breaking boxes. Not to mention the abundancy of firecrackers that Jimmy can find simply by just exploring the town. Kinda defeats the purpose of buying them, doesn't it? Another cut feature intended for Nate was a mission during Chapter 2, wherein Jimmy, or possibly somebody else, would destroy the windows of his store located in Bulworth Town. Here's a set of voice lines that were meant to be used by Nate during this mission.
I saw that! Police! Police! Police? Vandals! Who did that? What's going on? My window? What the? Oh no, I just bought those!
Now, it's possible that Rockstar omitted this mission from the game due to how similar the mission is to another Bully mission by the name of Glass House. Both missions involve Jimmy sneaking onto property, breaking windows, and then running off before the cops arrive. So it's possible that Rockstar felt as if this mission was way too similar to the other mission. The windows can actually still be broken in the final version of the game, so in case you feel bored when waiting for Rudy the Red-Nosed Santa to become available, then you might as well explore some beta content while you're waiting. Yeah, fuck the man. Down with the system, fuck you, Windows. Ian, much like the aforementioned Nate, has several voice lines about fireworks and explosives, meaning that he was possibly intended to serve as the second shopkeeper for the 2 Rocket in My Pocket locations. Ian is a wannabe gangster, oftentimes speaking in gangsta mannerisms and overusing words such as yo and gangsta in his voice lines. If enabled to spawn and free roam via modding, then Ian will mostly appear in New Coventry. It is possible that Ian's removal from the game was caused by his role being filled by Denny. Denny is a townsperson, oftentimes appearing in New Coventry, who was initially meant to simply act as a shopkeeper. Denny would eventually be changed to a normal townsperson, possibly replacing Ian. It remains unknown who voice acted Ian, as his voice actor is left uncredited. Floyd is yet another shopkeeper that ended up being scrapped from the game. He was initially meant to act as the cashier in a music store that Jimmy could purchase music from. Now this is where things get really interesting. During the development of Bully, Rockstar had plans on making an Xbox version of the game. This version would eventually be canned, and Bully would end up being a PlayStation 2 exclusive, that is, until the eventual Xbox 360, Wii, and PC port 2 years later. It's possible that Floyd was intended to be an Xbox exclusive character due to the PS2's lack of a music uploading feature. The Xbox, on the other hand, actually does have this feature, meaning that it's possible that Rockstar planned on having the player be able to upload custom music, purchase it in-game in the music store, and then play it using the unused music player feature. Oh, sorry, I meant Mustic Player. If you'd like to learn more about this cut Mustic Player feature, or music player, whichever the fuck it is, then make sure to check out my Bully Beta UI analysis video after you're done watching this. I guarantee that you'll learn something new in case you haven't seen it yet. And just like Ian, Floyd's voice actor remains uncredited and thus unknown. Bob, quite possibly the first removed character that the Bully fanbase ever took notice of. This removed jock made several appearances throughout not only beta promotional screenshots, but also the final game. More specifically during the introduction cutscene for the mission The Gym is Burning. According to several voice lines, Bob is openly gay and has a sexual fetish for wrestling. Now this could be why Rockstar decided to remove this character from the game in the first place, as the Entertainment Software Rating Board would have most likely taken a huge deal of issue with this one character. Especially considering the fact that Rockstar wanted this game to pass the T rating. Yeah, I don't know if the T rating and gay wrestling is really that compatible. Now, unlike Ian and Floyd, Bob's voice actor is actually credited. Bob is voiced by Tom Virgo, who actually has made several voice appearances in 6 Rockstar games. He also performed motion capture for table tennis. So, there's that. Neat, I guess. I mean, motion capture is cool and all, but table tennis kinda takes it down a notch, doesn't it? Nonetheless, it remains unknown why Bob was removed from the game, but it's possible that Rockstar felt unsure about having such a vulgar and suggestive character in a game like Bully. It's possible that Yuri served as his replacement after being subtracted from the game. This is backed up by an image I discovered back in 2006. Sadly enough, I was never thanked or even credited for making this discovery. Feels Pete, man. Oh, you don't want to listen to my sob story? You want actual beta content? Fine, let's proceed. So, in this image, we can see all of the jocks in their different clothing variations, some of which would be left unused or even completely removed. Here we can see Bob, but no Yuri, meaning that Yuri was probably added after Rockstar realized how difficult this character could be in getting Bully past the T rating. And last, but definitely not least, we have Sid. This is by far one of the most mysterious and interesting characters that ended up being removed from the game. Not a whole lot is known about Sid. Sid was initially meant to be part of the Punks Clique, a faction that went through several revisions and changes throughout development. The clique consisted of several members, including Russell Northrop and Zoe Taylor. Sid can actually be spotted in some of the character comic book designs created by Stephen Bliss. Aside from being featured in several designs, the only known images of Sid to ever surface the web were both uploaded by Tyler Wilson, the first being the one that I just showed you, and the second one being this one. This image consists of Sid looking up at a much taller beta version of Johnny Vincent, the latter of which would eventually be removed from Tyler's website for reasons unknown. Before we end the video, I'd just like to point out that all of these characters, excluding the last one, can be enabled to spawn in free roam via modding. I'll make sure to have a video up tomorrow that demonstrates how to achieve this effect. The video will be titled something along the lines of Bully Beta Spawning Beta Characters Tutorial, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys for watching this video on Beta Bully. In case you'd like to learn more about this game, then I'd recommend checking out my Bully Beta UI analysis video. Anyway, that's it for me. You folks, as always, stay classy. Peace.